following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting and Journalism at Western Illinois University.
Coming up on News 3 Live at 4, Colchester City leaders are scrambling to decide on the future of its police department. See how residents are trying to let their voices be heard. Plus, the second weekend of the Spoon River Drive is just around the corner. Find out when and where the activities are this weekend in Fulton County. And a rainy Thursday in our area, but there's a chance we get a visit from Jack Frost over the weekend. Storm Team 3's Jared Streeter has your weekend forecast. Live at 4 starts now.
High definition. News 3 starts now.
2 people are in jail this evening after police say they found them with a quarter of a pound of meth in their possession. Good afternoon. Welcome to Live at 4. I'm Devin Brooks. 28-year-old Nicholas Hennepin and 19-year-old Brianna Harris, both from Galesburg, were taken into custody last night for meth and heroin. The Galesburg Police Department says officers found a fourth of a pound of methamphetamine and more than 7 grams of heroin. Police say that's a street value of nearly $14,000. Both were charged for possession of drugs and paraphernalia. Bond has not been set. Now to a News 3 follow-up. Residents in Colchester are hoping city leaders will listen to their concerns of keeping its local police department. And one resident is getting the word out in his own way. Kim Linkeman says he's had about 100 yard signs made saying support Colchester Police Department, keep it local. Linkeman is giving out the signs to residents who want to keep the local department instead of contracting with McDonough County Sheriff's Office. Linkeman says he hasn't heard of anyone wanting to get rid of the department. He hopes the signs will send a message to Colchester city officials as a decision nears.
Signs are just a means for us to get the word out that we want to keep our Colchester Police Department intact in the community and not contracted out.
And tonight at 6:30, an emergency council meeting is scheduled after former alderman and acting mayor Kevin Bloomfield resigned from his position on Monday night. Bloomfield has been filling in while Mayor Danny Bice is out on leave. Tonight, the council will be deciding on a replacement, and Bloomfield was also the police committee chairman. News 3 will provide updates tonight on the meeting on our social media pages. Well, we are just a few months away from recreational marijuana being legal in Illinois, and the discussion is continuing for cities to decide on what will and won't be allowed. On Monday night, Macomb City Council discussed zoning regulations and where dispensaries could go within the city. Aldermen decided that dispensaries would not be allowed within 100 feet of a church, school, or residential area, but they could be in agricultural and manufacturing areas. Officials say no one under the age of 21 could go in a cannabis facility without an adult. The city could also decide to make a special permit for a cannabis cafe or lounge.
The stage has been set, the ordinances have been drafted, and there's still time for public input. I'm not trying to say that that's been circuited in any way, shape, or form.
The council will continue discussing cannabis next week before voting in the coming weeks. Aldermen have already approved a 3% sales tax for cannabis sales. Adults 21 and older will be allowed to buy and have up to 1 ounce of marijuana in their possession starting January 1st. Well, a rainy and gloomy day in the Macomb area, and there is a freeze watch coming our way for the weekend. Let's get a first check of the weather with Storm Team 3's Jared Streeter. Jared?
Thank you, Devin. Yeah, absolutely. Today was a little bit of a gloomy, kind of rainy day today. High the 64 degrees today, winds just 6 miles an hour, so a pretty mild day today. However, that's going to change as we start to head into tomorrow. As you can see on the graphic behind me, there is a low pressure system that is starting to move its way over to the Illinois area. That's going to start to give us the high winds and colder temperatures. As we can see, there's a freeze watch over our area, which does include McDonough County. So we are going to keep our eyes on that, as well as tomorrow night, the low is going to be 32 degrees with wind gusts up near 25 miles an hour. So that's going to make it much colder. But I'll have all that more later on. Back to you, Devin.
All right, Jared, sounds like we'll need a jacket this weekend if you are visiting the second part of the annual Spoon River Drive in Fulton County. The 52nd annual Spoon River Drive is a 140-mile drive through Fulton County with activities, food, and shopping in 14 towns throughout the county. The 2-weekend event is a great opportunity to support local businesses and give the county a platform to show off what it has to offer.
A lot of our vendors are from the Fulton County area, and it gives them a chance to showcase what they do. For 2 weekends a year, Fulton County definitely shines.
This is the last weekend for the event. The Scenic Drives Fall Festival has been held every year for the first 2 full weekends of October since 1968. All are welcome to see the museums, taste the food, and visit the other businesses along the drive. Well, helping furry friends in our area. It's that time of the year for you to show your support for man's best friend. For the 6th year, the annual Bricks Challenge, hosted by the Humane Society of McDonough County, is underway to raise money for the well-being and care of animals at the McDonough County Animal Shelter and throughout the county. Last year's challenge raised just under $12,000. The fundraiser started in 2014 when a local man wanted to start a community challenge to help pay for the needs of animals in McDonough County.
There are a lot of reasons why pets become homeless, but those pets that need our assistance more than ever. And quite often they end up at the shelter or a shelter, and we just hope that they could all be adopted out into loving homes.
The challenge runs through the end of October. Donations can be mailed to the information on your screen. You can also go to the Humane Society's website listed on your screen to donate.
Please. Hi. Oh, my good puppies.
And speaking of our furry little friends, take a look at this adorable video posted by the McDonough County Animal Shelter. That's School Resource Officer and WIU cheerleading coach Denise Creamer. She's hanging out with Brindle and Delaney. Both are 4-year-old mixes and are available at the animal shelter located off of Tower Road. Well, last night, the Change of Pace played host to a watch party for a WIU student's big chance on the big screen.
Already on it.
Listen to that. That's the sound of dozens of fans at the watch party inside the Pace last night to watch Jeremiah Garcia's dream come true. He played the role of a criminal in episode 3 of the new season, Chicago PD. If you missed the show, you can head over to NBC.com and watch Jeremiah in Chicago PD. I think that story is so awesome. All right, well, switching gears, even though Western Illinois University's enrollment is declining, the Office of Public Safety says that's not having an effect on crime on campus. News 3's Michelle Doherty explains what officers tend to deal with the most.
It's no secret enrollment is down. One look at the Macomb campus and you can see for yourself it's nearly empty. But that doesn't stop crime. Police Lieutenant Derek Watts comments.
Crime never really stops.
The number of calls may not be as frequent, but they're still occurring.
We don't have quite the number of calls for service, but we still have quite a few.
One of the biggest problems on a college campus is alcohol consumption, says Lieutenant Watts.
Being on a college campus, underage alcohol consumption is always the root of a lot of problems. Those students are the ones that get the DUIs, and those are still happening. Even with the population down.
As for some crimes like sexual assault, the numbers have gone up in recent years. But there's a reason for the spike in numbers.
It's a good thing, more people coming forward with those types of crimes. Right. So you may look at that and think, oh my goodness, there's per capita, there's a lot of sexual assaults or a lot of batteries, but it's just that the reporting's better.
Watts says if you're ever in an uncomfortable situation, don't be afraid to call police.
It seems like this younger generation is more forward to come to the police with that information than before, which is a good thing. We get those people the help they need, either solving the crime or counseling services or victim services and stuff like that.
Reporting for News 3, I'm Michelle Doherty.
The Office of Public Safety is located in Marbury Hall, open 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. Well, still to come on News 3 Live at 4, an abortion clinic built in the Metro East under another name for more than a year. Now the anti-activists are protesting. The latest ahead. Plus, a 9-year-old charged with murder after police say he set his parents' home on fire. Hear from his neighbors when Live at 4 returns after the break.
Western Illinois University is here to serve your future. Large enough to provide opportunities, small enough to connect you to them. Your potential is our purpose. Explore your talents in a place you belong.
Taking me home, bring me back to solid ground. Taking me home, bring me back to solid ground. Taking me home, bring me back. I can hear the sound.
From Salee Hall in high definition. Live at 4 continues.
Welcome back. A 9-year-old from Central Illinois is facing charges linked to a deadly mobile home fire. In addition to arson, the child is charged with 5 counts of murder. Lauren Kotzik reports.
I have compassion for him because in my own heart, I really can't see that a 9-year-old would intentionally want to harm somebody.
Tuesday, Woodford County State's Attorney officially filed charges against a 9-year-old child. These charges come 6 months after the deadly blaze in the Timberland Mobile Park community. Marie and Rodney Chalkley were at home at the time, saying their granddaughter was the first to hear the sirens.
We saw fire trucks, we heard axes, we heard saws.
And this is a lot where prosecutors say the 9-year-old intentionally set a mobile home on fire. All that's left is cement.
It was very shocking and disbelief that this happened to one of our neighbors.
And at the time of the fire, 7 people were inside the home and only 2 survived. Right now, because of the child's age, their identity is being withheld, including any possible connection to the 5 victims. The child is also being charged with 2 counts of arson and 1 count of aggravated arson. Many in the area are still comprehending the charges, saying it's a difficult process for everyone involved.
And I'm just praying for mercy over this and for him to be able to get help and to have a second chance in life, and that this, will not affect him for the rest of his life. He's a child.
If convicted, the 9-year-old could be placed on probation for at least 5 years or until he turns 21. Well, anti-abortion activists are protesting outside a brand new Planned Parenthood clinic, which was built quietly for more than a year. The clinic was built less than 15 miles from the border of Missouri, one of the most strictest states for abortions. Planned Parenthood announced Wednesday that the 18,000 square foot mega clinic will open later this month. The clinic is equipped to provide services to 11,000 patients. Planned Parenthood says it kept its construction under wraps to try to avoid delays and protests.
Well, we got word last week, as everybody did, that Planned Parenthood had deceived everybody and we're opening this mill. We had no idea about it, so we wanted to get here as soon as we can to make a statement that we're not just going to let them do this without putting up a fight.
The clinic is expected to provide abortions in addition to STI testing, cancer screenings, and other services. In more local news, a student organization here at Western Illinois University is reaching its potential for the bone marrow donors and in the community for a swab drive. News 3's Haley Kazmarek gives us a closer look.
People don't know this, but every 3 minutes, someone in the United States is diagnosed with a blood cancer.
Blood cancer and illnesses are some of the many causes WIU's Love Your Melon crew works to bring awareness to. This month, they will be hosting a swab drive with the goal of 100 swabs from students in hopes to create a more ethnically diverse registry for patients in need of a bone marrow transplant.
On the day of the event, we have stations set up, so there'll be a tablet for each participant to watch a 3-minute video, and then once they watch that video, they'll be entered into a raffle drawing for a special basket.
The crew has worked hard on the event and is anticipating a successful experience.
I'm really looking forward for the community to come together as well as campus. I know I've talked with the mayor and he's very excited for the event to happen.
The DKMS drive will take place on October 18th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the University Union. Students can expect minimal procedures involved to participate.
All they need to do is fill out their name, sign a form, and swab the inside of their cheek with a long cotton swab, and then we take that, send it away, and it's tested if it's a DNA match for someone that needs a transplant.
Reporting for NEWS3, I'm Haley Kazmarek.
The drive starts at 8 a.m. on October 18th in the WIU University Union. For more information, you can visit the DKMS on Facebook. Well, coming up next on Live at 4, a chilly weekend headed our way. Storm Team 3's Jared Streeter breaks down the forecast. We'll be right back.
Rooted in teaching tradition, the desire to impact lives through education marks our Western identity. We believe every student with the hope to succeed deserves a chance at our institution. We're invested in honing each student's individual strengths to turn that hope into promise. Our commitment shows in everything that we do. It guides our faculty with empathy. It grows our students with courage. It moves each of us with purpose. In Macomb and Quad Cities, all walks of life meet to share cultures, ideas, and aspirations. Together, our students welcome new perspectives, helping them bring true value wherever they go next. Whatever the next challenge or change we face, our fighting spirit strengthens and evolves. With fortitude, we remain devoted to our vision. Brave and loyal, we stand as Leathernecks. For our students, for our region, for our state, and beyond. And when we stand together, we stand up for what matters, going forth as one. And that unity takes us far beyond what we've ever imagined.
Welcome back and good afternoon, Macomb. Another dreary kind of day outside. Rain just started again outside. Temperature about 64 degrees. Our dew point's right around 60%. Look at that humidity, 96% outside. Winds southeast, pretty mild right now at 6 miles an hour. Looking at our almanac this time of year, 68 degrees, so we're right around our normal averages. Our average low this time of year, 43. Record highs, 88. Record lows 25, which we're actually going to start to see next couple nights, but I'll get to that here in a second. Looking at our infrared here, we do see a lot of clouds starting to take over our area, which are giving us a lot of rain, which you will see in our radar. A lot of rain starting to move over to our area as these systems start to move their way our way. As you can see here on my map, the low pressure systems that are off to the west are going to start to move over, and these are going to bring a lot of the cooler temperatures from the north, bring them down to us, which we're going to see those temperatures start to drop as we head into tomorrow night. Looking at our temperatures today, however, 64 degrees here in Macomb. Down in Beardstown, we do have temperatures around 63 degrees, Quincy 64. Looking at tonight, 45 degrees here in Macomb, starting to cool down a little bit. Beardstown, 46 degrees over in Quincy, 42 over in Keokuk as well, pardon me. And then tomorrow, the temperatures stay almost as where they are going to be tonight. 51 degrees here in Macomb, 50 down in Beardstown. Peoria, you're going to see temperatures around 56 degrees. Tomorrow night, look at this plummet. 32 degrees tomorrow night, Beardstown 31, Quincy 33. The wind gusts on that night are going to be around 25 miles an hour, so that's going to make these temperatures seem even cooler, which you can see, which I'll get to a slide here in a minute. My apologies. Showers tonight, as we head into later tonight, 45 degrees tonight, winds southeast, at 10 miles an hour. Looking at tomorrow, more showers, 51 degrees. Winds are going to start to pick up, 15 miles an hour. Looking at tomorrow night, those temperatures are going to start to drop even more because the clouds are going to clear out and it's not going to hold any more heat in our area. So 32 degrees tomorrow, those wind gusts, again, 25 miles an hour. So those temperatures can drop to about 20 degrees tomorrow night. So keep an eye on that tomorrow. Looking at our 5-day forecast, we do have 51 degrees today, 32 tomorrow, 54 Saturday, and then the temperature should be 54 Saturday, all sun. The low on Saturday is going to be 38 degrees. Sunday, high of 58, low of 36. Monday, we will return with some more rain, 61 degrees, low of 42. And Tuesday, high of 16, low of 38.
So we're talking some cold.
Yeah,
yeah,
very cold. Again, that freeze watch is in effect starting tomorrow into tomorrow night, Saturday morning. So something to keep our eyes on.
Thanks, Jared. And what we're talking in sports.
All right, coming up live at 4, head football coach Jared Elliott discusses this weekend's tasks as they face Indiana State University. Also coming up, the St. Louis Cardinals advance in the playoffs. That and more coming right up. Get my water.
Western Illinois University is here to serve your future. Large enough to provide opportunities, small enough to connect you to them. Your potential is our purpose. Explore your talents in a place you belong. Western Illinois University is here to serve your future. Large enough to provide opportunities, small enough to connect you to them. You are unique, and we are committed to you. Become the future you at WIU Quad Cities.
Welcome back to Live at 4. I'm Jalen Reeves. After losing their homecoming game in the triple overtime to the Missouri State Bears, the winless Leathernecks football team will attempt to get their first road conference win this weekend at Indiana State University. Head coach Jared Elliott talks about this week's challenges against the Sycamores.
Thrive on their physicality, and they're great in the box. They have really good skill positions on the back end, and they play a lot of man coverage, and they got the guys to do it. And so, you know, they want to try to eliminate your run game and apply pressure on your quarterback.
Kickoff is this Saturday at noon. You can catch the game on ESPN+. The Western Illinois women's soccer team puts their 4-game winning streak on the line tonight against the University of Denver. Game time from the Mile High City is scheduled for 7 p.m. WIU will be back home on Sunday against North Dakota. That game will tip off at noon. A big congratulations to Nathan Erickson and Amy Andrews on winning the Western Illinois University Hampton Inn Scholar Athlete of the Month. Nathan is a senior from New Berlin, Wisconsin, who is the kicker for the football team. Nathan is a perfect 12 for 12 on points after attempts this season and 5 for 7 on field goals. Amy Andrews is a sophomore forward on the women's soccer team. The Birmingham, England native leads the Leathernecks with 5 goals this season. The college basketball season is right around the corner, and a few Leathernecks are getting some preseason recognition. Junior Kobe Webster was named the All-Summit League preseason first team selection. Last season, Webster averaged 17 points per game while shooting 41% from beyond the arc. On the women's side of things, senior Olivia Kaufman was named the All-Summit League preseason second team. Kaufman was WIU's top scorer last season, averaging 16 points per game, 5.4 rebounds, and 3.8 assists. The Macomb High football team returns on Friday against Quincy Notre Dame. The Bombers come into the contest still looking for their first win of the season. The Raiders have a 4-2 record. Kickoff from MHS is scheduled for 7 p.m. The St. Louis Cardinals absolutely demolished the Atlanta Braves yesterday with a final score of 13-1. 10 of those runs coming in the first season. The 10 runs matched a postseason record for most runs in an inning and set a record for most runs scored in the first inning. The Cardinals are home and will play game 1 tomorrow against the Washington Nationals. First pitch is at 7 p.m. That's sports. Final word is next.
We are Western Illinois University, and we are amazing.
On Fridays, we wear purple.
We are home to professional athletes and actors,
Lawmakers, CEOs,
a civil rights leader,
and a 3-star general, plus over 100,000 other impressive alumni.
Our programs are mighty. Our law enforcement program is the largest in the state of Illinois and is known internationally.
Supply chain management boasts a nearly 100% job placement rating.
And cornfields might surround us, but we have a fine arts program that can rival any large city.
It's okay to take courses in wine tasting, wedding planning,
scuba diving, grain drying, Renaissance art,
engineering computational methods, or advanced federal taxation.
Sometimes our classes even take us to Disney World.
The Apostle Islands, Greece, France, all around the world.
For fun, we spray paint a bulldog statue, race cardboard boats, and shave our heads and dance all night to raise money for charities.
Not only do we paint the paws before homecoming, but we show our love for our mighty mascot, Colonel Rock, with painted statues all over town.
Sometimes we play volleyball with a giant ping ball, and sometimes we play in the mud.
It's totally normal to look at our res hall windows and see a hot air balloon floating by.
Or experience all 4 seasons in one day.
Hey alumni, jump on that Amtrak from Chicago or St. Louis or anywhere in between.
And come back to get a horseshoe,
listen to the award-winning Jazz Studio Orchestra,
or tailgate before a D1 game.
Not every school can say they started the 4-year cost guarantee program
and have a second campus on the banks of the mighty Mississippi.
We are Western Illinois University.
And we are the Leathernecks.
All right, I know this is something you know a lot about. Former Western Illinois University football player Colin Saunders had his first taste of action in the NFL on Sunday when the Kansas City Chiefs faced the Indianapolis Colts. Saunders recorded his first professional tackle in the fourth quarter, and you can see him wearing number 99. We're all cheering him on here at WIU. All right, well, Jarrett, tell us about this freeze warning.
Yes. So freeze watch. Yes, freeze watch. So the freeze watch is going to start tomorrow night and start to head into Saturday morning. Again, these temperatures are going to be about 32 degrees, the wind gusts about 25 miles an hour, which is going to make those temperatures feel much colder than they actually are. So what this can cause is cause damage to plants. Make sure you're not outside too long. It could, be too cold for you. So Yeah, so we need to keep our eyes on that and then tomorrow night.
All right. Well, that's all for us today, but we are online all the time. Stay up to date with us, news3wiu.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Just search our handle, News3WIU. You can also search for us on YouTube and subscribe. And we thank you for joining us this evening. From all of us at News 3, have a good night, Macomb.